I actually bought my first property a couple of years back. It's actually a RUMAWIP, so it's a affordable housing project by the government, 300,000 ringgit. So let me just share with you why did I bought it. Okay, I think first of all I need to clarify. I'm actually not a property person. When I say not a property person, it's like I never thought that I would actually buy a property. Yeah, you know, it's really because I don't like long-term commitments when it comes to this. Because honestly, when I buy, right, I need to be servicing the loan for 30 years, which is my entire life really. Like really, by the time you finish paying the whole thing, right, I'm like 60 years old already. So I mean, I'm now like 30, 34 years old already. So yeah, basically, even when you're 20, you buy, by the time the whole thing ends, you're probably like 50 plus 60s already. So it's really a lifetime commitment when you buy a property. So yeah, I didn't like it. Even when I was young, when my mom tells me that, hey, lah, I mean, not just around my age, lah, like people younger than me, I'm sure that you all have faced the same thing. Your parents or the elder one in your family will tell, hey, faster go get a property, lah, faster go get a property, and things like that. So it's the same thing that I face as well. But honestly, I just don't want to commit to something again that is such a long term kind of thing. And especially, right, my mom actually bought a unit uh, for us to stay. I mean, for the whole family to stay. Lah. I think just 2, 3 years before the boom itself, the property boom, she bought it for 180,000. So at that point of time, I don't want to buy it already because I find that it's a long commitment right there to pay. Right? Then after that, when the boom come out, you know how much the 180,000 unit became or not? I think it was close to 400,000. So can you imagine? Okay, so 400,000. How the heck am I? Would I even think of buying at a point of time, right? Because your installment literally just from 180 now. If I were to buy lah, a unit that's similar at 400,000, how much I have to pay? So it's just sort of like block me from all this. Of course, in hindsight, it will always be like, hey, I should have bought it so that I actually can profit for it. But too bad lah, I didn't. So I actually now, like a couple of years back, I think it was close to, I think it was during the MCO period, 2021 or 2022 period. Then I decided to get one for myself. I actually went to see a couple of other units as well, which is not RUMAWIP, the normal developments. But those are like, how much is it? I think around 500,000, 600,000. And I don't want to really screw myself up lah, over being unable to pay the mortgage, especially it's such a long term thing. Um, so I went ahead with the RUMAWIP. It's also in a location that I'm very comfortable with in Starbucks itself. So that time when I bought it, right, it was 330,000. Yeah, somewhere around 330. Why? Is because I actually got an extra parking as well. So my unit actually comes with two car park side by side, which is very, very rare, okay, in a lot of these affordable developments. Even in the newer projects, I mean the expensive projects, it's very hard for you to get two car parks on unless you are buying the bigger layout kind of units. Because I know that there will always be issue one. There will definitely be issue one. How can people buy house, right? A unit, 800 square feet, typically is a family that's staying there. It's impossible for just one parking to be enough for the whole family. So that's why you see all these issue, all these cars being parked at the roadside and all that. And this isn't just a problem with affordable housing or this uh, cheaper housing kind of thing. It's actually happening everywhere. Like I say, you need to buy the biggest layout in all these normal developments or more expensive developments. They only you get like two car parks. Sometimes you get three, but you need to buy the bigger layouts. The smaller layout usually only allows you one car park, or in some cases they don't even give car park at all. So another reason was because I'm actually able to choose the unit. I am actually very surprised at a point of time because a lot of the developments, RUMAWIP I'm talking about, I think in the earlier days you are not allowed to choose uh, the unit. It's by ballot. So when this came right, I'm actually able to choose the unit. So that's why uh, I actually bought this. And my car park, right? One thing I want to emphasize is that my car park is at level one, so it's very very low floor. But my unit itself is actually on the highest floor. So here's the thing, previously I actually rented a place. I'm actually staying in a place. I was actually staying in a place where the unit is on level 9 and the parking is at level 8. Absolutely hated my entire time there purely because of the parking. And the parking is not the speed ramp kind of thing. It's literally spiral, the full spiral kind of thing. So I had to every day when I want to go out. I think it takes like uh, I think 3 to 4 minutes. This is when it's not peak hour. 3 to 4 minutes just to get down from level 8 all the way to ground floor. And I really hated it because I when I go out right, I really don't want to come back home one unless it's at night already lah. When everything is done, then I come back. Uh, Otherwise, I can't imagine myself going in and out a couple of times lah. But I enjoy being at a lower floor because I'm actually a bit scared of height lah. So now I have no choice. I have to sacrifice my fear of height. Uh, Now I'm staying at the highest floor, but because of the parking is at level one, uh, I'm pretty thankful for that lah. So it's much 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 more convenient. So next time when you want to buy your first unit, check where is the parking as well. I think it will be something that's very important for you. Now let's talk about the location. So location wise, right, it's actually in Sapa. It's a place that I'm very very convenient with. I've stayed here for quite a number of years already. I think when you are familiar with a place, right, you won't really go and you won't move too far away, lah, unless for special reasons. It's just like, me asking you if you're staying in Subang to move for Sapa, you definitely say no one. Even ask you to come, also probably will take you a couple of months just to agree to come over one time. so I think we all know one thing is that everywhere is jam during the peak hour. So it's not the jam that separates us. I think it's really the familiarity of that particular place that decides why we actually stay at that place for so long. So I've been here for quite a while. And this development is actually very, very low dense, 200 plus units only. So it's only one tower. Uh, Again, I love the location is because it's only about 150 meters walking to the Aeon Danau Kota. For those who are familiar with this place, right, you will have the Aeon Danau Kota, then you have McDonald's, you have Starbucks. So there's a lot of place for you to eat, for a lot of you to shop as well. And then if you walk another like 5 to 10 minutes, you reach the Starbucks Central Mall, which is accessible via this huge park that I'm currently recording in. So this park itself is 37 acres, very very well managed by the local authorities here. So this is something I really salute them for. Um, so yeah, this is a wonderful location. A lot of students are actually staying here. We know that Sapa, we have the TAR University. I always call them TAR College. I know it's just feel weird to call them TAR University, but they have upgraded. So yeah, a lot of students actually choose to stay here as well. So in terms of rental wise, actually very very good rates over here. Of course, if one day I decide that I don't want to stay here, then it's very easy for me to rent out. So, like a lot of people have always said, right? When you buy a particular property, always have sort of like a plan in mind as well, lah. When you buy it, because it will never be our. For most people, it won't be our dream property one. Our first property won't be our dream property one. Um, so currently, when I bought it, right, I actually just had an idea that I'll be staying alone. Um, but then along the way, I actually rented out it to students. So I rented out two of the rooms to the students, and it's giving me a very good rate. Uh, Actually, close to being able to cover the monthly loan already, lah. Yeah. So my monthly loan is 1,300 ringgit. Yeah, so here's another thing is that I actually took the 100% financing. I can't remember what scheme. I think it was SJKP or something, or SKP. That was the scheme that I took. So 100% financing, and my monthly loan is 1,300 ish ringgit. So if you look at it that way, right, actually the well, owning a house actually not that scary really, because when you rent an entire unit, now that I'm in the property industry, right, if you want to rent a unit, I'm talking about unfurnished whole unit, minimum also I think somewhere around 1,500 already, 1,500 ringgit. Even in Starbucks itself, 1,500. So I think that is when you feel that buying a house will be much more, and that's why I think this affordable project is actually a good thing for many people. I'm not telling you to buy for the sake of investing, okay? Because a lot of people needs this kind of project to actually get a place, to stay for themselves and for their family. Right? So go look elsewhere, lah. If you have a lot of money or what, there's a lot of other projects out there. Um, but yeah, so when you look at it, your monthly loan is 1,300 plus, then you plus your maintenance about 200-300 ringgit. Then it makes sense lah to actually buy your own place. And so those are the points that actually make the entire thing clicks lah, and why it makes me want to get a property. Of course, uh, having to pay for the next 30 years is still annoying, but at the very least, having some tenants there that is almost able to cover the entire loan for me already means that my outlay is actually very little only. Like honestly, it's just very very little only. So yeah, that's my experience buying my first property, which is a RUMAWIP. In fact, if you guys have any questions, right, just feel free to ask below as well. So I'll try my best to answer for you guys. Oh, and lastly, is that social issue. A lot of people like to associate all this affordable housing with social issue, but honestly, I felt that I don't think there is any issue. At least for this development that I bought. And another thing is that developer reputation is very important as well. I know the developer, they have been doing a pretty good job over here in Starbucks already. They have many, many years of experience. So I have no issue getting this property from them. It's just that a lot of people, when they buy all this RUMAWIP, right, affordable housing, right, then you have some first-time developers and all that I don't want to take the risk. Like honestly, for me, I do not want to take the risk because over here in Gombak, you see developments that is almost finished building, and the developers just ran away. So always choose, um, developers with experience, lah. I think that is something that is very very important. And then don't think so much about the social issue part, lah. Again, it's pretty much non-existent over here. I have a wonderful time staying here. So that's all about my sharing. Again, any questions that you have, feel free to ask below, and I'm happy to help you out with. See you guys. Bye bye.